Sewell with Engearment.com here. Got a fun video answering questions we get all the time on whether or not an infrared sauna blanket is as good or as helpful as a sauna tent. In this video, I'll go through my extensive use with both of them, the benefits of both, and hopefully help you decide which one is best for you. As a bonus, I'm having my colleague Ryan Humphries, who is like the sweat tent, the sauna tent aficionado, break down the reasons why he likes the tents and what the benefits are for those. And then I will share my personal experience using sauna blankets for the last 3 or 4 years. And hopefully this helps you decide which one's right for you. It's a lot to cover. Let's get into it. First, I'll share my experience with sauna blankets and kind of explain how they work and how to use them. So a sauna blanket is what you see right here. It is usually a rectangular shape. Some are skinnier, some are wider. I did a comparison video on the top ones that I think are out here in 2025. What they are is basically kind of a stiffened sleeping bag you get into, and then you plug it into the wall, and then you turn it on and set it to the desired temperature. Most sauna blankets get hot, about 160, 170 around there. This one gets to 185, which is why I personally use it. The hotter, the better, in my opinion. So you plug it into the wall, in about 10 minutes or so, it usually gets to the desired temperature. You place your body in it. You can put like a cotton terry kind of blanket in there if you want to. You can wear a light kind of cotton sweat pants and sweatshirt if you want to. Because what will happen to some people is the conduction, the touching of the heat might be too hot for them. Personally, I don't mind. I get in my boxers and I'm good to go. I don't mind the heat, kind of used to it. And how it works is really pretty awesome. So in the name infrared, obviously the infrared happens in here and it heats you up. And some science shows that it penetrates pretty deep in the body, maybe deeper than convection, which would be the sauna tent. I don't know, I don't have a way to prove that. The only physical difference I can share with you that might be helpful to a lot of people actually is with the infrared sauna blankets. I've noticed my arthritis kind of decreases for that session and after that session, which is a huge relief. I'm not trying to make any kind of medical claims or tell you some kind of woo-woo stuff, but in my experience of using the sauna blankets, my feet feel as good as they can possibly feel. I have arthritis in both of my feet and my knees. The technical term for the foot arthritis is hallux rigidus, which is rigid big toe. So if you have arthritis and experience that, in my experience, the sauna blanket is very helpful for that. That's a huge, huge win. Other benefits, you do get increased heart rate. So you get, I don't want to say what category cardio, depends on the individual and the age and abilities, but it does elevate the heart. And then you do sweat. Compared to a sauna tent, I don't feel like you sweat as much, but the sauna tent also gets hotter. So that's something Ryan will talk about. 185 degrees is pretty dang hot. So I don't wear a watch in there. No metal jewelry, my ring is silicone, because it can get pretty hot. So keep in mind if you have like metal in a button or something, I would avoid doing that. Same thing in a sauna tent. You don't want to bring glass or metal in a sauna tent. You go to touch it, your water bottle or whatever device, your phone, it will be very, very hot. Yeah, so don't bring your phone into a sauna tent. There's a lot of pluses on the sauna blanket. So one, doesn't use fuel. The sauna tent requires heat source. Usually it's a wood burning stove. And that requires starting a fire, tending to the fire, getting logs for the fire, and it takes the time to heat up the tent, more time than the 5-10 minutes like the blanket. So you have the fire to maintain, keep going, stoking the fire, but then it heats up the tent with convection heat, kind of like your oven, right? So you are in the oven basically, getting pretty hot. The tent we use most of the time, we have a North Shore and we have a sweat tent. They both get up over 200 degrees, which is really, really hot. And you sweat a lot. You feel it. And it's pretty uncomfortable, I'll be totally honest. But that's the whole idea, to get uncomfortable so you adapt. That's the whole hot and cold, and have a different video on contrast therapy. But getting a little bit uncomfortable for a little bit of time is healthy. a lot of ways. And again, Ryan will explain more of that in the other part of the video. Back to the Sauna Blanket. So one, doesn't require fuel other than electricity. It does draw some watts. I mean, it gets pretty dang hot. I don't know how many watts it is, but I would guess 600 watts at least. So keep that in mind if you are traveling. You could use this off of a 1,000 watt battery for 20, 30 minutes. So if you are traveling, that's another benefit of the Sauna Blanket. It is portable. I'll show a picture of it folded up. You can put it into a duffel bag or just kind of fold it up and put it back in your vehicle. So it is portable, which is great. So you can do your contrast therapy or your heat therapy while you're traveling, especially if you're nomadic like myself. I'm in my truck 2 or 3 days a week camping, so I bring power banks. I could bring this and use it for recovery, which is pretty cool. So doesn't require fuel other than electricity, gets to the exact temperature you want to set it to pretty quickly, about 10 minutes or less. It works, in my opinion, it works very well. Definitely get sweaty, and like I said, I have pain relief from it, which I'm not trying to make medical claims again, but my personal experience does help with that. And then some people ask me, like, how gross does it get? Well, not gross at all. All the ones I've used unzip all the way, and you just take some soap and water and a paper towel and just wash it up real quick. I let it stay open, it dries. Once it's dry, I fold it up and I put it back in my closet. It's pretty simple. So there's a lot of pluses, as it sounds like, right, on the Sauna Blanket. You plug it into the wall, it gets hot, you get sweaty, you clean it up, you fold it back up, you put it away. Pretty awesome. Now in comparison to the Sauna Tent. Sauna Tent, you require fuel, a stove of some sort. It takes a lot more maintenance for that than as opposed to just plugging into the wall for the Sauna Blanket. You do have some other cool benefits with the Sauna Tent. You get to share the experience with others, which I think is pretty cool. I'm all about community and communication and building relationships and bringing people together. And having a shared schwitz, as some of my friends say, a sweat together is pretty good bonding time, right? The sweat tents are sizable. I mean, we have a 6-person and we have an 8-person. They are huge. Technically, they are portable. We have taken them down and taken them to a lake for camping and stuff and did like a little contrast therapy, jumping in the lake, then going in the sauna tent. That was pretty cool. But it's not as convenient as the Sauna Blanket. Obviously, you just unplug it from the wall, and then after you clean it, you put it in a bag or put it in the back of your vehicle or put it in a closet, wherever you want to store it. So obviously for convenience, the Sauna Blanket wins. But again, back to the Sauna Tent, you get to share the experience. It gets hotter, uses convection as opposed to infrared radiation and conduction. So you feel pretty hot in there. I feel like you sweat more in the sweat tent, but I don't know if it penetrates as deep as the infrared. So that's some deeper research than I can provide for you. The sweat tent is pretty awesome. Again, shared experience. But you can't bring metal or glass in there like I mentioned earlier. And there's a big cost difference. This guy, the Hydrogun Heat Pod 2, is I think $600. There are models from other companies that cost less, but you always get what you pay for, as that's why, you know, almost every review I mention that. So if money is an option, there are a little bit less expensive options out there. They do get hot, not as hot as this guy. But the sweat tents are going to be a lot more money, in the thousands of dollars range, as opposed to the $400 to $600 range. So you got to weigh that option right there. So those are my opinions on the sweat tent versus the Sauna Blanket. I'll let Ryan Humphries explain a lot more on how sauna tents work and what he thinks about them.
Hey, what's up, folks? Ryan Humphries with Engearment.com, and behind me you will see both the sweat tent and the North Shore sauna tent. Now, both of these are pop-up wood-fired saunas that we have done reviews on. So if you haven't checked out our reviews on either the sweat tent or the North Shore sauna, go check them out on the Engearment channel. We've been using these now for well over 2 years. They are portable sauna tents, which make them a lot more affordable than the classic barrel sauna. The thing that I love about them is not only their price point, but also the fact that they actually get hot enough. Now, hot enough is an interesting conversation. Most of the research out there on saunas indicates that in order for you to get those heat shock proteins, the thing that everybody's after, Most of the research says we need that temperature to be somewhere between like 185 and 210. 180 and 210, don't quote me on that, but it's high, it's really high. And one of the issues with some of the smaller tents or the infrareds or some of these like tiny pop-up tents that are not wood fired or do not have a burning unit inside them, most of them just don't get hot enough. They get to like 120. Now, here's a Humphriesian theory. That is, I think if your body is having to overcome a significant amount of heat and you start sweating and sweating profusely, if I was a betting man, I'd say you're probably getting some benefits. You're probably getting some of those heat shock protein benefits. Now, is the research out there? Not yet, at least not to my knowledge. If someone knows about research indicating that you are releasing heat shock proteins at a lower heat, please let us know. We're all fitness nerds here, and we want to be putting out the correct information, and we want to learn and grow as well. So it's not super easy to find a tent that gets up that hot, right? However, because saunas have become like this massive craze, a few companies have reached out to us, not just about the sweat tents. Both of these are also just awesome. People say, Ryan, what's your favorite? Well, watch the videos, and depends on your goals. They're both awesome. One of the aspects that I love about the sauna is the community environment, right? So there's no phones because your phone's gonna die, and you could just be in there, have a conversation with somebody without a cell phone, and suffer through, you know, the struggle together. I also do a lot of sauna sessions by myself just because I want the benefits and I enjoy how I feel afterwards. Sean has tried out like 6 of these new sauna blankets, and he's a big fan of them. I have not personally tried them out yet, but if I can use a sauna blanket to elicit the same effects, that same growth hormone, that same heat shock protein adaptation, if I can use that in the comfort of my own home without having to build a fire, I am open to that. Now, you miss out on the community aspect, but that's okay. Community sauna is great when you have time for it, but also, like, if we've learned anything from the Finnish studies, people that are experiencing the heat 3, 4, 5 times a week, there's a significant drop in all-cause mortality. So dig into the research a little bit more, do your homework if you like. Personally, I'm just a huge fan of sauna in general. At some point, I will likely get a wooden barrel sauna, but as I said, you know, these things are pop-up. They're made to be taken down, put up, and portable. You could take them to the lake, you could take them to a river. If you have questions about sauna, reach out. If you want to know more about either the North Shore sauna or the sweat tent or any of these other blankets or some of the smaller units, feel free to reach out. We'd be more than happy to help, and thanks for watching.
Okay, so now you've heard from 2 of us, our opinions on the sweat tent and the sauna blanket. There's benefits to both, right? I've talked in quite a bit of detail about the blanket, and Ryan's talked in quite a bit of detail about the tent. Again, they both work really, really well. Fortunately, we get to use both. We have a gym we go to, we have cold plunges set up, we have the sauna tents, and we have a gym. So all about the health. But if you're at home, you can replicate all that with a sauna blanket, your own home gym, you know, TRX, kettlebells, that's what we use. And then I'm very fortunate to have a cold plunge from the same company, Hydrogun, so I can do my contrast therapy at home. All in, I think it was about $3,300 for the super tub with the 0.6 horsepower circulating device and the sauna blanket. The sweat tents cost that much just for the tent itself, thereabouts. And then you add in a cold plunge and you're looking at, depends on what you want to get. You can go cheap for sure, nothing wrong with, we have horse troughs in the back and we get a lot of ice, those work. But for consistency and hygiene, there's better options out there, right? So for that, you can look into my review on the Hydrogun Super Tub, which I use every day. I've used it twice today already. Love that thing. There are other ones out there too. Look into those, find the option that best suits you. For me, it was a Super Tub. And then for sauna blankets, like I mentioned, there are other ones out there besides this. This is just the hottest one that I've found so far in 2025, so this is the one that I use. Now, sauna tents, that's the option you want to go with. I applaud your decision. That's awesome. They are a lot of fun to share the experience with others. They work really good. They get really, really hot. We've had ours set up for 2 years straight. It's taken a beating. It was black at one time, now it's like light gray. So they do degrade over time. but we're also in Colorado, so we're a lot closer to the sun, so keep that in mind. But the bottom line, getting a little uncomfortable, breaking a sweat is good for you. You can do that through exercise, which I recommend. You can do that through recreation, hiking, biking, running, swimming, whatever. You can also do it with a heat source like a sauna blanket or a sauna tent. They both work. You get uncomfortable, you break a sweat, healthy things happen, life's good. Hopefully seeing these compared, me talking about my personal experience, Ryan talking about his personal experience, us sharing how our gym members use them was helpful. If it was, a thumbs up be appreciated. I would love to hear your opinions too. What do you use? What do you use at home? Where do you use at a commercial facility? What do you like about it? We're here to learn as well as share our opinions. Put that in the comments below if you would like to. We'll have more fitness content here this summer 2025. If you'd like to see that, consider subscribing to our Engearment YouTube channel. A link right there. I'm Sewell, the owner and director of Stoke for Engearment. Until next time, take care.